कार्पल टनल नाम ही आपको नज़र आ रहा है, कार्पल और टनल। ठीक है, कार्पल रिस्ट पे है, ये टनल बन रही है, सुरंग बन रही है, इसके थ्रू चीज़ें पास हो रही हैं। मगर टनल कैसे बनती है? अब हमारे कार्पल के अगर हम देखें तो वी हैव द कार्पल बोन, 8 कार्पल बोन, प्रॉक्सिमल रो एंड डिस्टल रो। In the proximal row we have 4 bones, in the distal row we have 4. Proximal row में scaphoid, lunate, tricutril, pisiform. She looks too pretty. ठीक है? Try to catch her. ठीक है? Trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate. ठीक? अब क्या होता है यहाँ पर कि wherever I told you that wherever your tendons, they are changing their direction, they are passing long distance and they are changing their direction, they have to be retained in their place. Otherwise, if there is no any resistance to them, you flex this wrist, they will bulge out. Okay, so what happens that nature has given a fibrous band. That fibrous band is attached to most lateral bone of each row. Proximal, this is proximal row, okay, and this is a distal row. Okay, so this fibrous band is attached to most lateral bone and most medial bone of proximal and distal row both. So proximal row, most lateral bone is the scaphoid. It is attached from the scaphoid. मार्कर है किसके पास? एक दो कलर के यहाँ कोई रेड वगैरह ये थोड़ा सा. Okay, leave it. From this lateral bone, scaphoid, this is extending from this and going to be attached to the pisiform bone, most medial bone of the proximal row. Whenever we see cross section, हम उसको कट करते हैं और cross section. For the distal row, it is attached to the trapezium. It is same. Attached to the trapezium and medially going towards the hamate. Medially it is attached to the hamate, and this is the hook of the hamate. This one is the hook of hamate. Okay, so it is attached to the hamate. Now what happens? Thank you. Now what happens? See, one thing is that now under this tunnel is formed over the carpal bone. This is called as the carpal tunnel. Okay, carpal tunnel. Now see here that on the lateral side, distal row bone, lateral side distal row bone, trapezium, it has 2 edges, lateral edge and the medial edge. Fibrous band extends from the deep surface of the flexor retinaculum to be attached to this medial edge.
Okay.
Medial edge. Lateral edge, on the lateral edge already flexor retinaculum is attached. Okay, so on the medial edge. On the medial side, from the superficial surface of the retinaculum, a fibrous band going to be attached to the hook. On the medial side, from the superficial surface, fibrous band is attached over the hook of the hamate. Can we say that we have a separate compartment under the flexor retinaculum, separate compartment, and over the on the lateral side? On the medial side, we have the separate compartment over the flexor retinaculum. Whatever structure passing through these, they are superficial to the flexor retinaculum. Though there is a fibrous band, but still they are this is the flexor retinaculum. They are over that. So this is the flexor retinaculum is formed here. Now the structure they are passing here. First of all, main structures are that the structures which are actually passing the muscles, tendons which are passing towards the digits. Towards the digits means that in the superficial group we have digitorum superficialis. In the deep group we have the digitorum profundus. So making this, each one having the 4 tendons. So we have 4 tendons. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is FDS. This is FDP. Flexor digitorum profundus. Now see that these superficial tendons, they are close, superficially they are close to the flexor retinaculum. They are deeply close to the tendons of the digitorum profundus. Whenever they move, they will strike with each other. Chances of friction, chances of damage. What happens is nature has given a bag of fluid that actually lying between these tendons, and this bag of the fluid, this one, and this bag of fluid is like this. So you see, it is a balloon. When you push something inside that, something is coming to be attached. Have you seen the pinocytosis and phagocytosis? So now its shape is like this, and this thing is going inside, even more that. But here we have the 8 tendons. So this balloon, actually what is happening, that it is becoming like this. So this contains fluid, and we have these tendons. So what happens that they will not strike with each other. The superficial tendon, they will not strike with the flexor retinaculum or the profundus. Profundus will not strike with this. There is a frictionless environment, smooth environment. They can easily move. Okay. So what happens then? These are the flexor digitorum. So the structure passing under and over. Mind it. One thing is that we have the tendons for the digits, superficial and profundus. So we have the flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor digitorum profundus, and the nerve for the forearm, main nerve for the forearm. Median. It passes under the flexor retinaculum, but superficial to the tendons. Between this is called the fibrous flexor sheath. This is called the bursa or sheath for the flexor tendons. Radial bursa and ulnar bursa we'll discuss later on. It is forming the sheath over here. Now superficial to this sheath, median nerve is lying between this sheath and the flexor retinaculum. Passing this means that median nerve is passing under the flexor retinaculum through the carpal tunnel. So we have tendons of the digitorum superficialis, digitorum profundus, and median nerve. Okay, we have made a separate compartment. What is situs there passing is still under the flexor retinaculum. We say flex under the flexor retinaculum, digits for the tendons for the digits. So digitorum superficialis, digitorum profundus. Okay. Then we have another digit, very important. Thumb. Pollicis. Flexor pollicis longus. It has to pass through this under the flexor retinaculum. And we have the flexor of the wrist on the radial side. Flexor carpi radialis. It is also passing under the flexor retinaculum. So two tendons, flexor pollicis longus (FPL), flexor carpi radialis. But we have a separate compartment. Which muscle out of these two has to go through the separate compartment? Flexor pollicis longus is for thumb with a digit. It is for the thumb, it is thumb with a digit, and for the digits muscles are passing from here. So which is the different muscle? Because for the thumb it is digit already muscles here. So this says I will join the same group. It will stay here. Separate muscle is carpi radialis, it will pass through this separate. Okay, so we have the flexor carpi radialis here, and leaving this and the flexor pollicis longus is here. Under the flexor retinaculum, all these structures, but from the separate compartment, flexor, carpi radialis, and then digitorum superficialis, digitorum profundus, pollicis longus, and median nerve. Over the flexor retinaculum. Now on the medial side, you say you have a flexor carpi ulnaris. It is attached over the hook of hamate, and then goes to the pisiform bone, crossing over the flexor retinaculum. And then you have on the medial side you have a neurovascular bundle. Flexor, ulnar nerve and ulnar artery. So ulnar nerve and ulnar artery, they both align here. Ulnar nerve and ulnar artery. Now this is the hook of hamate bone. You might be asked about the relation of these, which is lateral, which is medial. Nerve is lateral and artery is medial. Out of these two, nerve and artery, which is hard? Artery is soft? Nerve is hard. It is card-like. Which is hard, it has to be close to the bone. So nerve is on the medial side. This is ulnar nerve and this is ulnar artery. Nerve should be close to the hook of hamate and here it is. So this separate compartment lodges ulnar nerve and ulnar artery. They are crossing over the flexor retinaculum. These are two structures which are, there are other structures over the flexor retinaculum. Ulnar nerve and ulnar artery. This separate compartment is called as Guyon's canal. Okay. This is Guyon's canal. Okay. Out of leaving these two structures, other structures, we have seen the superficial groove muscles. One of the superficial groove muscles, two of them. One is on the medial side, flexor carpi ulnaris. It is crossing over the flexor retinaculum. In the middle, we have the it is incorporated in the deep fascia. It is crossing over the flexor retinaculum. So it is palmaris longus. Here we have the palmaris longus. Palmaris longus, ulnar nerve, ulnar artery. Okay? Okay. So maybe write down here, crossing under flexor retinaculum. Okay? So flexor digitorum superficialis, flexor digitorum profundus, flexor pollicis longus, they are in same group, they are digits. And then separate muscle is flexor carpi radialis. And then we have the median nerve. Crossing above. So we are going from medial to lateral. Ulnar nerve, ulnar artery, flexor carpi ulnaris, then palmaris longus. But you see that median nerve is crossing under the flexor retinaculum. Before crossing, it gives a branch which crosses over the flexor retinaculum and supplying the skin of the central palm. Skin of the central palm. Skin means cutaneous. Palm means palm. Palmar cutaneous branch. So, palmar cutaneous branch of median nerve. Over the flexor retinaculum. Then more laterally, one structure, another very important structure. Your radial artery, when it passes through this, going laterally, crossing the wrist joint laterally, coming to lie in the anatomical synapse box, and then passes through the first intermetacarpal space, and then it enters into the palm deeper aspect of the palm. When it passes to the lateral aspect of the wrist, it gives a branch which crosses over the flexor retinaculum, and it is running in the superficial fascia and deep fascia of the palm. Can we say it is a superficial palmar branch of the radial artery? It is running superficially in the palm, so it is superficial palmar branch of radial artery.
Which completes the superficial palmar arch.
It is completing the superficial palmar arch by joining the ulnar artery, continuation of it. So these are the structures which are crossing over the flexor retinaculum. Whenever there is a problem inside this, in the carpal tunnel, within the carpal, deep to the flexor retinaculum. This is carpal tunnel obviously. Superficial to carpal tunnel होगा ही नहीं. How?
Compression.
We have a limited space here. Might be there is excessive accumulation of the fluid inside this. In the ascites, we have excessive accumulation in the extracellular fluid. Excessive accumulation. What happens? No, it compresses the structures. Excessive accumulation of the fat, a disease is called as myxoedema. Fat is accumulating here, compresses the structures. Or there is a arthritis or osteoarthritis, swelling of the joints. It pushes the structures, compresses it. Most pronounced effect will be on the median nerve. And median nerve of the dominant hand, whatever you are left or right. Because you are continuously using that hand. I am right hand and I am continuously using this. So what happens that it moves frequently and there is a damage to the median nerve. Damage to the median nerve, then whatever the supply of the median nerve distal to the carpal tunnel, it will be lost. Distal to the carpal tunnel, distal to the flexor retinaculum, it will be lost. Whatever its supply in the hand, it will be lost. Now, median nerve is compressed over here, damaged over here. Might be medial nerve is damaged over in the forearm, at the ankle when it passes through the two heads of the pronator teres. Ligament of a stressor is lying here, under that it is passing. Then what happens? How we can differentiate? How we can differentiate? Now see here, that it is compressed over here, it is compressed over here, it is damaged over here, whatever. Median nerve gives a branch which crosses over the flexor retinaculum to supply in the palm. No any other branch of the median nerve crossing over the flexor retinaculum, passing in the palm and supplying here. It is supplying the skin of the central palm. If you just touch over here, if it is intact, sensation is felt, then and other muscles, short muscles, they are lost by the median nerve supplying there. Our median nerve is supplying the skin of the lateral 3.5 digits. This sensation is lost. You feel that median nerve is compressed in the carpal tunnel. Because this central palm skin is supplied by the branch which is arising before the carpal tunnel. If it is lost, means that median nerve is damaged somewhere proximal to the carpal tunnel, in the forearm or at the elbow. So you make differentiate whether it is the carpal tunnel syndrome or it is somewhere else proximal to that. Just touching the central palm skin. If it is intact, means that median nerve compressed under the flexor retinaculum. If it is lost, means somewhere proximal to that, in the forearm or at that. So this is actually all about your flexor retinaculum and the carpal tunnel.